Mr. Brown, is there somebody in Flint that can go to Genesee Township, I'll even go with them, to stop these people, anybody? To me, if you go into a scrapyard, it seems like you should have a license. A demolition license or something like that. How can somebody come in with a wadded copper, which you can see has been cut, and I know I've had them cut water lines in my park too. They leave the fitting right on there because it's brass. They don't go for copper, that's junk material they call it, if it's got a brass fitting on the end. Now how can we stop or work together with like Chuck's Recycling, Genesee Recycling, and RJ Torching? They work 24, RJ Torching works 24 hours a day. I know why, we have to listen to it. And we need some help from the people of the city of Flint to go to Genesee Township meetings that they have, like we have right here, our council meeting. I go there, I'm just a peon, I don't even pay taxes in their area. How are they going to listen to me? But if I had somebody from Flint that was appointed, I don't even know who that is, to go with us to go out to Genesee so we can come up with some regulations to give to them that they can put on RJ Torching and Chuck Recycling in Genesee. There's probably more. But to put a ruling that you have to be a contractor or somebody with a license. All they got to have is a license. Now, I have a master's manufacturer contractor's license. I have a repairman's license. I can take scrap in there through my license if I had to take scrap there. But we're not going to stop these people from doing what they're doing if we don't do something about it. We got to stop I'm not going to say our kids or whatever, but anybody going in there without a license to take scrap in there. It just don't make sense to me. They're lined up. You go over there in the morning. I went up there one morning to see the bus up there. I had to see this MTA bus. I couldn't believe it when they go. So I went to the automotive machine shop. Sure enough, here comes the MTA bus, 9 o'clock in the morning, dropping off scrappers. They carry a little bag on the side. And what do? I mean, if you approach them and say they're at a neighbor's house or something like that, I mean, do you really have a right if you turn around and say something to them? It's not your property, but you know, I mean, you got to say something. I mean, they'll shoot you, they'll do anything. I mean, they got every tool imaginable. I'll tell you a good one. I went to Wings Electric the other day because I wanted to see what kind of cutters they had. They had one cutter. That's over on Richfield Road. They're demonstrator. Can you imagine that? Wire cutters. They can't keep them stocked. That's how many people are coming in and buying. They're getting them right. Why can't we stop the electrical companies from selling cutters? Why can't, just like when you turn around and buy liquor, you got to be 21 years old. I mean, why can anybody go off the street and go into an electrical place or a contractor place? I mean, they stop kids from buying paint in the stores. Why can't we put a regulation on cutters? This is simply that they're cut. Sure, I know they'll use a saw, but I mean still, I mean, when you can't even find them because there's such a demand for them, they can't make enough of them that people need them cutters. I mean, you see a guy walking down the street with a bag on his side. I know my 5 minutes is up, so. But if you can work out something with me to go with Genesee or somebody to say something, I appreciate it.
Our next speaker is Jeannie Beer. Spear. Good evening.
And also to the new mayor of Playground. I live in the 3rd ward, and I've been there for like 50-some years, and I've never seen things like this before. And I know the mayor is doing the best he can with what he has, okay? But what I want to know, what's going to happen to that area? Will it earmark for anything like maybe house, stores and houses, new houses in that area, east of 475. It's cut off, that's, the by Falls Area Baptist Church, you understand that? What's gonna happen in that area? There's only a few houses there.
I'll let Councilman Goldberg answer your question for you.
You know, actually, it is the Northland Reinvestment, Northland Reinvestment Organization has put together a plan for that particular area, the Ujima project. And we're looking at redeveloping that area. And that's something that we've been working on for some time now. And things are starting to move in the right direction. That's why I asked that question earlier when we talk about the northeast section of the city of Flint. We need to see some reinvestment and some redevelopment there. But I think in order for us to have the reinvestment there, we have to have partnership with the city and with other stakeholders here in this area. So that's something that is on the pipe, and something that's very dear to me because I live right on the other side of 475. I live on Blunt. So, you know, when I go to Falls Avenue, so my grandma stayed on Falls Avenue. So I do know what you're talking about, and that is on the table. And we've been working with some people, and we're going to be moving forward, trying to work with our emergency financial manager, whoever else is in charge, to make sure that we do see some economic development in that area.
So you're gonna tear down the old houses or rebuild the new house, how you gonna do that?
We want to tear them down. We want to build new houses there. That's what we're striving for. But it's in the beginning stages of it, but we are moving forward.
Will that affect our taxes?
That's something I cannot speak to right now, man.
Well, I'm asking because I have lots of property.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I don't want my taxes to go up. Okay?
So that's something that we have to.
Okay, the second question was, community resurface?
Sitting in that.
Premier resurface, Premier Street.
That's something that I talked with Mike Brown about also too. I know we did have a few streets over there that were resurfaced last year, Falls Avenue and also Oakwood Street was resurfaced. So Premier Street is something that we can look at because it is some bad spots on Premier. And I do know that they did fill in a hole that was right there
I saw that.
on York. And
Right.
it took us some time to get
Took
that
time to
done.
do that,
But we've been
right.
working on it. So
What about the
something-
sidewalks?
That's something that we're working on too, because we did have sidewalks done on Falls Avenue and also on Oakwood Street and a couple other streets over there in that area. So that's something that we can look at as well.
But anyway, Mr. Brown answered most of my questions. I think he's doing a municipal job with the city where it is now. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Our next speaker this evening is Amira Thema. Amira?
Hello, Council. My name is Kamari Thema. Mine is about taxes. Everything that happens in this city, they say, let's tax the homeowners. I'd like to know, is there a certain ethnic group in the city of Flint that doesn't pay taxes on their store properties? No, not my store. I'm saying, is there an ethnic group, well, is there anybody in Flint that doesn't pay taxes? I was told a certain ethnic group doesn't have to pay taxes for 7 years. For what, 10 years? Oh my gosh. We need to do something about that. If everything that happens in Flint, they say, let's tax the homeowners. We get taxed for everything. We got taxed for downtown, and they're not putting down the building. You know, I asked our other mayor, will we get refunds back? He said no. So where's that money going to? And I really want to know about the ethnic group that doesn't pay taxes and what we should be doing something about it. Why should they get away with not paying taxes and they put everything on homeowners?
The only thing I can recommend, because I'm not aware of the law that allows for tax exempt businesses or individuals other than what we might do through a tax abatement, I would suggest that you contact the assessor's office at the city or your council person and work with them to try to find out what that law is for any tax relief that those businesses or.
I mean, it's in every ward. You're in every ward.
Yeah, well, I'm not aware of what their tax structure is for those businesses. I'm not.
Okay.
So
Is it anybody here that does know?
So I don't know. So, you know, my suggestion is, you know, we'll have to work with the assessor's office and find out.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
This is a public hearing, right?
Our next speaker is Art Diamond. Mr. Diamond?
Hard down, we're on the watch. Good evening. First of all, I'm glad to see where I have these meetings once again. I don't know what it costs to have these meetings, but not having the meeting just reinforces that city doesn't care what the taxpayers do. So if we can't have these meetings on a regular basis, I mean, it does nobody any good. We have to get things out of them. There's several things I'd like to address, but I think I'm going to irritate me the most. And that's the crime that we are being forced to live in within our neighborhoods. I know we've heard a lot about crime tonight. It's time now?
Thank you.
I shouldn't say my book on. We're already seeing groups of thugs emerging together, getting ready to run us again this summer as they did last summer. They're going to be more prepared and confident because, quite frankly, in our neighborhood, they're winning. I have acquired some information recently, last couple of weeks, and after making several phone calls to the Flint Police Department, nobody wants this information. I've called everybody I can think of, and nobody wants the information I have. If I don't have an investigation number, we can't help you. We can't direct you to a detective. We can't direct you to a whip. When you talk to the top executive during a recent complaint filed by a citizen with the Ombudsman's office, Chief Locke answered, this is, from my understanding, a written statement. Unless this has something to do with this, we will not answer these questions. The Ombudsman must have thought that the question was imperative, or we wouldn't ask it. I mean, this was for an investigation. But that type of attitude is a problem. It's not just, I mean, we're not picking our hand. It's all over. This is why we got the emergency manager right now. It's because this has been going on for quite some time. Got to act like a collective group of elected professionals trying to make things right. I know we're in a real bad shape right now financially. I mean, that's heavy. But it means just that much harder. We got to work together. Getting back to the actual crime discussion, we live in, like I said, Rowanwood. We have several vacant houses, the vast majority owned by Genesee County Land Bank. These vacant houses are home to the majority of the crime being perpetrated by local criminals. We've been told that there's no money for repairs, and they're owned by the Land Bank. There's no money for repairs, upkeep, raising, or even boarding up. We as a community have to supply everything to board these houses up. We're the ones that are supplying the materials. If these buildings were raised, the criminals would be gone. Well, that's kind of hopeful thinking. But at least they'd be forced to be out in the open. They wouldn't have a place to run to every time they did something and hide. They might get caught. Why can't we take these illegal scrappers, the ones which are caught, instead of paying a small fine or whatever we do with them now, give them a sentence to tear one of these houses down? They like doing it. They like tearing stuff apart. They can tear the house down. I mean, they keep the scrap, they fine if there's anything left. Give them a choice of 30 days to raise the building or a fine large enough to cover the cost of tearing them down. That's what they want to do for a living. Let them pay to tear one down or do it themselves. This is a huge issue when it was sewer grates and the manhole covers. Now it was. Neighborhoods are being decimated by these scrappers, and little is being done. So like I said, the churches, I read about it all the time, how these churches, they get roof units stolen. How do you install those things? They go up by crane. I like to admit this part, but I need to say it. I personally never condone the actions